or someplace that, that has some plants and things growing around it, then you need a smaller search coil. And what you see here is on my Fisher F75, I have changed out the standard search coil, which I'll show you. So this is the search coil that this came with. And obviously this is much smaller. Now the purpose of this is to narrow down on your target area. This is great for finding all sorts of stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm going to change out. I'm going to change this out with my other Fisher 75 because I noticed there's a little bit of a crack. You got to watch these plastic connectors too. If you get a crack in it, that's going to affect your ability to pick up signals. So I'm going to switch that out as well. So it's going to be kind of a longer video, but bear with me on this, okay? And I got to finish my sentences. So I do know that I get distracted. I go from one thing to another sometimes, and the whole purpose of this is to show you how to switch out your search coils. Now this one's already been put on, and essentially it just pops right on, just like this. Okay, you see, and I have two washers. Those are two nice little waterproof washers, and what they do is it keeps it from flopping around. So the last thing you want to do is to have your search coil moving around and you know, constantly being flipped up and down. And it's real simple. Once you put it in, and you just screw it on. Now here's another important factor too that I learned from my good friend Drew Waholnick of Naughty Dog Treasures. Drew, I've never forgot this. What he told me is you got to make sure when you wrap this around, it's got to go over the top, okay? So a lot of times people will just do it like this, see? And if you do it like that, that can affect your signal. This may pick up this signal of this wire. So you've got to really watch that. Those are some good to know tips if you're going to be out metal detecting. So over and around, and you want to give yourself plenty of room down here because you're coming down here to the box, to the control box. Now some of these are a little bit different. This is a Fisher F75, so obviously it's made a little different than the Garrett. And honestly, they're all really good systems. You have to just pick what works for you. I like Fisher, but I like Garrett as well. So I'm a fan of both. But now this Equinox that they have out now, I've never used it, but I hear nothing but great information about it. So I got the search coil on, and I want to do a quick test. Real simple to do. I just want to make sure that this search coil is picking up. So I have something just as simple as well, pretty much anything. Okay. And this search coil is not picking up. So there must be a short in the system. So that happens too. So I had another smaller search coil on earlier. So obviously this one has issues. So I can send this back to the factory because it doesn't work. And maybe it's not going to work because it doesn't go to this machine. So that's another thing too. Make sure your search coils match up to the machine that you're using. So that is a tip from James McCormick with Digging History, and we'll be right back with a few more tips on how to switch out your search coils for a regular search coil.